Hi, I'm Sprychun, and this is going to be a ranking video based on how much you want these Nyanbo characters. This is not just ranking them based off of which character is the best, because that's lame. Obviously, most of the UZ ranks are better than most of the double Z ranks. That's pretty simple. This is going to be a ranking based off of if you get any of these characters, how happy should you be? For example, let's say you have a Nyanbo multi and you happen to get low tier shoe. How happy are you gonna be? Or you get New Year's Kyra or Vampire Zazzle. How happy should you be? Or how much should you like chase after a character? Essentially, this is not not a ranking based off of how good the characters are. More basically, how useful would the character be to you? Which I have to clarify this because I know someone is gonna see this out of context and they're gonna be like, "You think this character is better than this character? You're stupid." I gotta point that out. So we have 5 tiers because I didn't want to fill up the tier list. First up, trash. These basically most normal characters are more useful than these characters. Then we have bad, where I mean it's fine to get the character, but obviously you want something better. Good slash niche slash novelty is basically just like a big conglomerate category. Either the character is just kind of good, kind of it. They have some sort of niche scenario where they'll find use, or they just have cool skills that are fun to use, which is like the whole reason you're playing this game. You should be playing this game to have fun. So it's nice to be able to have characters that are they just have fun kits. Great characters are characters that are really good, and if you just happen to get them, you should be happy because you got something of value. And then peak, these are the characters that you're essentially going to be cranking the Nyanbo for. So, yeah. So first up, let's get we're not going to go based off of tier. We're instead just going to go character by character. These are sorted by ranks. However, the Z ranks and the double Z ranks are not sorted by the time they came out. I just kind of put them in order. However, the triple Zs up to the UZs are sorted by which characters have come out in order, I think. So first up, last Giracoma. Also, we have this spreadsheet by Goose, and then this spreadsheet by Sallitine. This only goes to triple Z ranks though, so we have this for the Z and double Z ranks. So I gotta move my phone so I can type. So first up, we have Giracoma, not Kiracoma. This is a fusion of Last Neon Mirai and Kiracoma or Coma Star. So this character is a select popper with unity for both mysterious and brave. However, you cannot put him on a brave team. Like, he doesn't link with them. Basically, if the number for the brave unity is there and you put him on the team, he'll buff that number. However, he won't buff it as much as an actual Z rank brave unity would, because he himself doesn't give that extra 5% because he himself is not brave. He's all right. I mean, if you get a free unity character, he's cool. He's kind of spammable because he's a select popper that then drops himself. However, he's old. That's the main problem with a lot of these characters. They're just kind of old. He might have been the first Nyanbo exclusive character. I remember seeing him and like really liking the design of Coma Star and Last Neon Mirai. So a fusion of them, that was hype, honestly. So he's fine. I'll still use him sometimes. However, because he's not LB10 compared to my clock lady that I just happen to get LB10 because she just appears in normal cranks, I don't really use him as much. But he's still cool, and he's fine because Unity is still Unity. Next up, we have Raiko Shogunyan, or Lightning Shogunyan. This character is an all popper. He's a stacking all popper. However, he doesn't pop everything. He almost pops everything. He's like a center popper that almost pops the whole board. However, the very sides, they don't get popped. And his skill is appear more, which kind of sucks, and then start arranged. I'm pretty sure he's the first start arranged character, and he has use purely off of that. However, Z rank stages, I think I do use him in Z rank stages, so he has a use. So I might as well. We'll keep him down here. The reason for that is because you don't need him, honestly. He's cool. It's fun to have. However, his appear more kind of messes with, you know, his whole starter range thing because he's going to be like half the board. So, not as useful, but eh. Next up, Sunrise Boy. Instead of being Enma, he is Heartful. So he is an inflate then pop character, similar to Masked Manager or Fudo Riser. However, instead of multiple Puni, it's just one Puni. However, he has the Start Big skill, which gives him a use over everyone else. Basically, Start Big allows you to, you know, it's basically just a grinding skill. So if you just have, like, he's very likely to be on your team because anytime you do a Nyanbo multi, you're essentially only getting regular Z ranks, I think. So he's pretty likely to get. So these characters, they're not the greatest, but considering that you can almost just guarantee have them, he's not bad. Next up is Susanoo. This character, when he came out, was very, very good, I think. Gunshin Susanoo. He is a Z-rank tap inflator with Unity. Pretty good, and I think better than Girokoma, purely because Tough also has, like, they have a lot of Unity characters, basically. And a tap inflator is just more usable than a select popper, in my opinion. So, but he is still old. However, you can easily still find use for him. Just because, I shouldn't call this bad, I should say subpar. Yeah, this is the subpar tier, where basically they're usable. However, compared to everybody else, they're not really that crazy. Next up, we have Dark Rene. No, it's a thing. Rene. There are like 7 of them. Oh, and we found him first try. So he's weird. Basically, the way you deal damage with him is by tracing a shape. Yeah. He's like, I guess a single attacker is what it says. Which he is. I mean, he's kind of just, yeah. And then his Soultimate is Feverfill. So, I mean, he's cool. He's a novelty. Maybe we'll put the good niche here, and then subpar / novelty down here. Subpar / yeah. So then we'll put Darkness Rene here. But we'll put him back here. Because, like, Eerie doesn't need him. He's purely a damage dealer. That is all he is. I don't think he's really that good. When he came out, it was, like, cool. Because, like, whoa, it's, like, tracing, but not as good. So he's kind of just alright. And yeah, that's all the Z ranks. Yeah, that's all of them. So next up, to the double Z ranks. First up, we have Shuka. There are 8 of them. And then this one is Oni Hinodol Shuka. She's an all-popper fever extender with drop big and recovering HP over time. The HP heal thing is cool, I guess, but it's very minimal and is not that fast, so you shouldn't really rely on it, but the drop big is pretty cool. So we're going to put her here. She's cool. We'll put Sunrise Boy higher because you're more likely to get a use out of Sunrise Boy than you are out of this Fever Extender. But, I mean, I should probably try her at some point. She's, honestly, doesn't seem bad for, well, no, she is kind of bad for Z rank Charming. Well, double Z Charming. Because the reason for that is because the best EX popper is also a Shuka. Who's like, where is she? I know she's here. Okay, no. Okay, I thought this was the other Nyanbo. This is Cherry Blossom Shuka. She's an extreme popper with Link Big. So, very good. And, kind of conflicts with this. But, I mean, she's still good. Next up, Blue Sky Helmet Suzaku. This guy is very strange. He's an extreme popper with guard and gives the party the chance to deal critical hits. I'm pretty sure, according to this at least, it is a 28% chance. And it, again, is a 50% increase in damage. However, he doesn't have skills to make use of his Extreme Popper Soultimate, because the use of an Extreme Popper is to get combos, which lets everyone else deal a lot more damage. And since he also has the ability to do critical hits, they can deal even more damage. So on the surface, he's pretty good. However, he is still good, obviously. Actually, we'll put him in great tier, because I do use him on my Double Z Mysterious team, because my Double Z Mysterious doesn't even use a fast fever, so the fact that he doesn't have an easy way to get his ultimate doesn't really matter, because I don't have a fast fever anyway. So he's good. Like, some people argue that he's on, like, Mysterious's team even now, but, like, teams can deal 1.6 million in 7 ultimates. They don't really need to deal critical hits, especially considering we have better kits that, like, you have to, like, kind of baby him in order to get his ultimate, when you can just not bring him and still do insane damage really quickly. So he's good, obviously, but he's not, like, top tier. Next up, Earthwalker NOA. He is a tap inflator with Unity and really? Okay, Earthwalker NOA. He's a tap inflator with Unity and a chance to stun enemies when popping his big Puni. I think it's a size 6 Puni to stun for 2 seconds. I don't know what the chance is. He's good. You can still use him on Brave. He's kind of getting pushed off now because enemies have so much HP that Brave can't really win in, like, 6 ultimates, so you kind of have to replace him for a character that can help get other ultimates, like Itsuki. But he's still good, obviously. Unity is still good. For Double Z, he's great. I mean, ignoring the fact that the Double Z Fever Extender is also Earthwalker, so ignoring that, he's good. What? Story, who cares? Next up, Earthwalker NOA. So here's the thing. Nyanbo characters, I don't know about the Z ranks, but for double Z ranks and up to UZ ranks, ignoring Jane, they have this thing called a Nyanbo multiplier. I went over this in my Fumihime Spotlight video. Basically, Soultimate multipliers are these point multipliers that basically just determine the amount of damage you'll do in conjunction with your attack stat, unity, you know, there's a bunch of factors. This is also a factor. The higher the point multiplier is, the bigger an effect characters have. Every time you go up a rank, the point multiplier goes up, unless you're an AoE, in which case it goes down, because obviously. However, the Nyanbo characters, they are a step above their own rank, but are still below the next rank. For example, Orihime Natsuomi has a higher point multiplier than Summer Corone, but doesn't have a higher point multiplier than Black Hole Kyra. However, Earthwalker NOA is weird. If you look at his point multiplier, he's an attack booster with redrop, by the way. I wonder if he has any other skills. Right here, Earthwalker NOA Armored. An attack booster with inflate. He has Easy Link and redrop, so he's a score attack booster. So his point multiplier at Soultimate 1 is higher than other Double Z attack boosters. However, once you max them out, he's the same as other attack boosters. I know for a fact he was the first Double Z Nyanbo. I mean, the first Double Z attack booster with redrop. I don't know if he was the first Double Z attack booster, period. He might have been, which might be why, because he would have had a higher point multiplier than his tribe is supposed to have, and he's the first one, so they didn't really want to do that. Maybe that's why. But he's still good. However, Brave doesn't really have any score attack characters. They have this Triple Z, if I can find him. It's a version of Ryuta. I don't know where it is. It would be if I can find yeah, it's this guy. This is basically like their only good score attack character. So, and he's not even that good. So he's good. Obviously, if you don't have any other redrop attack boosters, he's good. But he's not, like, you know, super broken. And then the reason I'm not putting Sunrise Boy higher is because there are other drop big characters, one of which being Lolita Pecora and Cross Enma, who do it better. Next up, I think this guy's name is, like, literally just Black Cat. Bat Cat, yeah. Black Cat. Nope. Yeah, his name is literally just Black Cat. He's an all-popper rearranger with pre-fill and revive. So, honestly, his kit's pretty good. Like, he has a pretty decent kit. However, he doesn't really do anything. Like, he doesn't provide anything like special. He can help support, and the revive is cool, so you can use him for that. But he's not really that crazy. I got a comment from someone that was saying you should make a double Z or and triple Z like team tribe tier list, but I'd have to figure out like what all the double Z and triple Z's do. So I don't know what else double Z area can do. I see they got a fever extender with afterfill right here. No, that's pre-fill. They got a fever extender with pre-fill. That's pretty nice. However, other than that, I don't really know what else they can do. So I know they got banned. That's cool. Next up, Orihime Tsukuyomi. This is, I already know exactly where this character is going to go. She's going to go in the novelty tier. So, no, she's going to go in the niche tier. Basically, she's an all-popper Soultimate filler with Link Big and a unique first skill. Popping her Puni, it says may fill Soultimate gauge. That's not what she does. Instead, it fills the fever gauge. She's very neat. She's very strange. Basically, the larger of a Puni of hers you pop, the more of the fever gauge it'll fill. And if you're in fever time, she will actually replenish the fever gauge by like 0.1%. However, that is just enough for you to be able to use characters like Lance, Shuka, and Fudo Riser to take advantage of that skill and pretty easily hit damage cap after a while. So, she's niche. Pretty interesting. However, it doesn't really do anything outside of that. But Link Big's Soultimate filling, while also essentially providing fever support, that's pretty good if you want to bring Double Z Heartful. I don't know why you would want to, but you could. Next up, MT Bouncer. This is a all-popper fever extender with redrop and a fever fill. No, he's not. He's not fever fill, is he? Popping a large Puni can get his Soultimate gauge. I thought he was fever fill. That makes him a little bit worse than I thought. Basically, Double Z Shady is the best Shady team, or is the best Double Z team, in my opinion. They don't really need a fever extender. He's good, obviously. Fever extending is really good, and he's a Nyanbo multiplier. But Shady doesn't need it. They got an EX popper. They have 3 Unity characters, and then we might as well go ahead and talk about them now. Vampire Zazzle. I wish my chair would stop squeaking. It's really annoying. I don't even know why it's squeaking so much. Whatever. Push that in. Now I can't lean back. Let's go. So Vampire Zazzle. I made a whole video about him earlier. Young Vampire Zazzle is an all-popper transform ball maker that has fast fever and heals 10% of your HP when his ultimate is used sometimes. He's good for Double Z Shady because you can just spam him and deal a lot of damage for not very much effort. So, which is pretty cool. You can loop fever time over and over again. Pretty nice. Not as usable as these two, but still. Next up, is this it's Amaterasu. Speaking of Amaterasu, that reminds me, I have a Yokai Watch 4 thing to edit. I just haven't, because hopefully I can get it out by the end of the year, because that'd be cool. Anyways, Hikoboshi Amaterasu is an all-popper Inflate 4 with pre-fill, and his Soultimate gauge fills when using other Soultimates, which is cool. He's not really useful for Double Z Mysterious, for me at least, but he's very good for grinding. So, if you don't have Shizu or Black Hole Kyra, you can use him in order to, like, auto-throne, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, pretty neat. Pretty nice. Yeah, neat. Next up, Summer Shutendoji. This character is strange. See, Shutendoji is a select popper, then drops himself. His Puni can fall larger than usual after using his Soultimate, and popping large Puni can fill his Soultimate. One of my favorite Double Z ranks is Gakoga Y right here, where he also does the same thing. So, obviously, I should, like, shooting doji good, right? Well, no, because this guy doesn't actually have drop big. It only goes after using his Soultimate, so he's not really spammable like Gokoga Y is. Gokoga Y is my first double Z rank, which is why I like him so much. So he's kind of just mediocre. You can't really use him for like drop big spam or anything like that. He just kind of exists. And that is all the double Z ranks, so we can close this thing by Goose. And here we have all of the triple Z ranks where they really started spamming Nyanbos. So like I'm telling you, we go all the way up to the start. 1 Z rank, 1 triple Z, 2 triple Z, 3 triple Z. Next one, fourth one was the Nyanbo. We go to UZ ranks. That's not 1 triple Z. I mean UZ, 1, 2 UZ, 3 UZ, 4 UZ, 5th UZ was a Nyanbo. But then we didn't get the next one for a little bit, for 4 events. And then the next one after this was a decent chunk. And then it was Witch Kappa-chan. So, they definitely like spamming Nyanbos now. This is Summer Elza Mekia. She is a pre-fill drop big select popper, but only pops one kind of Puni. She can do some damage, but she's essentially just an auto slave. However, apparently her Soultimate is really, really slow. But she's still an auto slave that also has drop big, so we'll put her here. Because auto slave, like self-sustainable, I mean it's niche. It's niche and more useful than a lot of these, in all honesty. And we'll maybe do this. Sure. Next up is Halloween Kappa-chan. She is an all-popper Soultimate filler with start arranged, and using other Soultimates can fill her Soultimate gauge. You could still use her to this day. She is really, really good. And you can use her for, like, getting around nuclear normals for thrones. She's pretty good. But she's not really good enough for the normal Charming team, which now we're getting into characters that could be good enough to actually still be on the team to this day. Halloween Kappa-chan is not. You could still use her, but she's not, like absolutely broken like she was when she came out. Well, not broken when she came out. She was very good when she came out. And she's a Soultimate filler, so pretty cool. Next up, New Year's Kyra. I don't know what the heck they were thinking with this guy. He is a triple Z, obviously, fever extender with fast fever and Enma unity. He is the only Enma character with fast fever, and he has unity on top of that, and is a fever extender, so I don't know what the heck they were thinking. The first fever extender was, what was it, Yo? No, I doubt it was Yo. It was probably, Yu. It was Fukuri Yu. So then it was Yo, and then it was this guy, so I'm fairly certain he has a Nyanbo multiplier. Probably. Insanely broken. I don't understand why the heck they made this guy so good. So, like, essentially, he's almost required to run an Enma team, unless you have external LBs. Next up is one of the weirdest Nyanbo characters to ever exist. This is, the other one was Onihina Shuka. We'll just call this one, Super Shuka. Super Hina Doll Shuka. She's also a fever extender with drop big. However, instead of healing over time, she now just has fever fill. However, because she's a higher rank, she hits harder. Apparently, you got this character by fusing this double Z Nyanbo with a fan to make this. I really... she's very strange. You could use her, or you'll just use Knight Nyarthur, who came out a decent chunk later. So, yeah, Nyanbo character kind of got power crept by a not Nyanbo character, so we're going to put her down here. And this one at least has something niche going on for her. And then, I don't know if they released at the same time, but this is Onihina Kuten. He is an all-popper rearranger with, what is that? Pre-fill and fast fever. So honestly, he's not too bad. A fast fever character. The only other like fast fever character that I can think of is like Itsuki and that one Blazion that has something. So like, I mean, he's fine. You can use him for support and stuff. He also has pre-fill, so you can use him as an auto slave. Is that pre-fill? Yeah. So he's cool, I guess. You can use him. He's not bad, but definitely worse than all of these characters. Actually, we'll put him here. He's cool. Next up, Maten Boy. I don't know what the heck they were thinking with this guy. He kind of sucks. He is a transform ball maker with pre-fill, and popping a size 6 of his Puni can proc a 2-second stun. You see, the thing is, he sounds kind of decent. You can like spam him. However, we're in Triple Z Eerie territory. You want to know what characters exist that are Triple Z rank Eerie characters? These are characters such as Saku-chan, or wherever he may be, way down here. I could have just looked for him by now. Izana. You have no reason to use Maten Boy if you can run Saku-chan or Izana. He sucks. Next up, Wedding You. This is and then we have normal Maten Soranaki. Strange. Then we have Wedding You. I didn't realize she was so late into this timeline, but Wedding You is an EX popper with start big, and large Puni can fill her own Soultimate gauge. She's pretty great for grinding. However, she's not that good of an EX popper because your Fever Extender was also you. So they looked really similar. If you could get around that, you could. However, the other you also has Fast Fever, so yeah, kind of difficult to run both of them. Next up is, I don't know what this form of shoe is, Dragon God Awoken Shoe. I didn't even realize this guy was a Nyanbo character because he sucks so bad. He's an all-popper Soultimate filler, with popping his own Puni can fill other Soultimates and redrop. What the heck were they thinking with this guy? At least these guys, you can use them for lower ranked teams. You have no reason to use this guy because characters like Narochi exists. And there's even like double Z ranks who probably do what this guy does better. It's just so weird. Next up, Puni God Nate, if I can ever find him, because he's very forgettable. Basically, he's an all-popper, stacking all-popper. Gets stronger with each use. Use him 2 times, and then his 3rd time and onward, he's pretty strong. He has drop big, and large Puni of his own can fill other Soultimate gauges, so he has a little bit of support capabilities. So he's nice, honestly. Not the worst thing ever. However, Brave doesn't really have a use for him, especially now, because Obi exists, who is self-sustainable very easily. He doesn't need any help. Next up, Furry King Enma, who is mysterious. I don't understand why they made this guy mysterious, but they did. He's an all-popper that makes 2 large bonus balls. Using his own Soultimate can make big Puni fall. I don't know if that's every Puni or just him. I haven't paid attention when I did use him for a mysterious clear one time. But he also has drop big, so he's pretty spammable, can help support too. He's usable. I've used him before, but not better than Earthwalker NOA Armored. Next up, Low Tier Shoe. Honestly, in my opinion, this guy was arguably the best character in the game when he came out, because did Hinozal exist at the time? Let's see. I feel like he did. Hinozal, yes, definitely did exist at the time. So his competition would be like Hinozal or Boso Enma or something. He's a Link Big Fever Extender with Unity, with that also got LBs. So he's self-sustainable, hits essentially as hard as an LB10 character, and was slippery, which got a Dragon Slayer's watch. The slippery team with this guy was absolutely insane, and took away from this guy's value even more. So, honestly, he's pretty good. You can still get away with running him today. However, you might as well just bring Mercury Death because, well, you got 2 other Unity characters like Santa Yu and the Yuzi Seiryu. So he's kind of lost value a lot, but for Triple Z, he's still pretty nice. Next up, God of Armor Fudoma. This is also a pretty funny case. You see, this is he's pretty good. He's a tap inflator with pre-fill and Enma Unity. However, then they got access to Fudo Boy Gold, and spoiler warning, Fudo Boy Gold is a lot better than this guy. So he's good, obviously, but he's not broken. He out of the two Triple Z Nyanbos, he is the worst one to have, and of course that's the one I have. Next up, Oni, why did I say Oni? This is Orihime Natsuyomi. She is an Inflate 4 with Heartful Unity, and using her Soultimate can make Big Puni of any kind fall. She's pretty good, honestly, especially now that they have access to Doll Yu, who essentially can fix any, and they have Summer Setsuna, who, her problem is that you can't really get her Soultimate that easy, and now we have two characters that do that, so pretty good. Not quite as good as Halloween Capuchin, just because there's more uses for her, because starter ranged is really good, but she's still very good, and if you get her, you should be happy. Now we're into the UZ ranks. First up, Summer Setsuna. This character is actually broken. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. She is an all-popper Soultimate filler with start arranged and fast fever. This character is like the whole reason that I think Heartful was the best team in the game until, I'm fairly certain, until Megumin came out. That is how broken that they were. Once they got access to Noelle, who was a double Z rank when she came out, they were the best team in the game, and then they got buffed later by Doll Yu, and stayed the best team in the game, all the way until Megumin came out, and then Aqua came out, but they weren't that crazy yet. And then they stayed top tier for a very long time. They were really insane. And they're still really good to this day. They're in the middle tier of tier lists, like for the tribe tier list, but they are so incredibly broken still, even though other tribes can just do more, because they can also just no bonus without having to steal away the normal because of this character. I actually used her in my winter park, whatever this event is called, you know, the Blizaria event, Yuzu Blizaria. I used her along with Boso Enma because they're really good. Next up, we have Fumihime. I don't know what her name is. I just call her, okay, it's Halloween Fumihime. She's a good EX popper, a really good one. But other options exist. For example, Natsune. So if you get her, I mean, obviously Fumihime is really good. She doesn't need to be chainable. She has Fever Fill, which means that you don't have to waste time with the Link Big of Natsune. So I prefer to run Fumihime. However, there's obviously there's better Nyanbo characters to get, and Natsune's really functional as is, so not really that good. We'll put her here. Next up, Red and White Elzamechia, actually broken. JP players love this character. Me, an individual with free thinking, I also know she's really good. She's a Soultimate filler with pre-fill and unity. She's actually broken. And she also has a Nyanbo multiplier. All of these characters do except for Halloween Jane. So, really broken. Can also be used for grinding because she also has Tribe Unity, which makes your bonus character hit even harder. Very, very insane. Next up, Doll Yu. This character is pretty nice, honestly. We'll put... yeah. And actually, we'll put him down here. Here. Because he is really good. But, not anymore. So Doll Yu is interesting. She's very forgettable. But she's very good. She's an EX popper with a Nyanbo multiplier. So, the second best option for EX popper for Heartful is Puppet Natsuyomi. So, she is a whole rank lower and doesn't have a Nyanbo multiplier. So, Doll Yu hits quite a bit harder, while also having pre-fill, unlike Omatsu. And she has the causing any large Puni to fall after her Soultimate gauge fills. So she also helps get other Soultimates like Setsuna and Orihime Natsuyomi. Very useful. You can even use her for grinding throne stages because you'll be able to get a high combo, use the Soultimate filler to get the bonus character, and then you'll win in 3 Soultimates. Very good for autoing. Speaking of auto slaves, Fudo Boy Gold. He's really good. Really, really good. But honestly, he's kind of overrated in my opinion. Basically, he has start big, he's a Soultimate filler, and any damage above 3k is a 40% chance for a critical hit, which is a whole 12% higher chance than Blue Sky Helmet Suzaku. And since he also has a Soultimate multiplier, he hits really hard himself. The problem is that it's a crit, it's a 40% chance, which isn't really consistent. He's very good, but he's not like the most broken character to ever exist, like some people have you believe. Very good, obviously, but not like, oh, he's absolutely broken, more busted than Halloween Jane or something. You know. Next up, Beachside Natsuyomi. I don't understand why they made this character. Oh, whoopsies. Forgot a guy. Hang on. BRB. I bet you forgot about this guy too. This is Hikoboshi Fudoma, an all-popper rearranger. Using his Soultimate is a 20% chance for any big Puni to fall, and he has the 2-second stun. What were they thinking with this guy? Honestly, he is the worst Nyanbo. Because at least this guy, you can spam him, and he has pre-fill, so he can at the very, very least be an auto-slave. This guy actually does nothing. I would much rather get Lightning Shogunyan than this guy, actually. Next up, actually, Beachside Natsuyomi. This character, she's really good. She has start arranged, and Inflate 4, and linking her Puni fills up the Soultimate gauge as you link the Puni. Like, if you link 9 Puni, you essentially have her regular Soultimate, and then pop the Puni you just linked, and then you have your G Soultimate. Very, very good for Mysterious. But not quite as good as Summer Setsuna, in my opinion. Actually, mainly because Summer Setsuna also has Fast Fever. We'll put her above Fudoboy Gold. However, Mysterious itself doesn't need her. So, she's better to help with your bonus character. However, for actual like team gameplay, she's not very necessary because Mysterious doesn't really need her. And then finally, Halloween Jane, I'm going to put right here. The reason for this is because Halloween Jane, I think, is the best character in the game when you take advantage of her skills with other characters. For example, you need characters such as Black Hole Asu or Hinozal and where is he? Hino. You need characters like Hinozal, and I like to bring characters like Lolita Pecora, and what's the other one? Suisei? Yeah. And Suisei to take advantage of Jane's powerful like kit because she hits really hard, has the ability to guard and can heal. However, if you just get a character, you'll likely have more use out of Fudoboy Gold because he has Start Big for grinding and autoing. Natsuyomi can help you like get the throne character without having to steal for seal 6 or 7. Doll Yu can help you auto the throne. Setsuna is essentially the same thing as Natsu, except will also be useful for a team. And then Elzemekia is just honestly the most valuable Nyanbo to have because, Soultimate filling and Unity, good for grinding and for the actual team. Jane is just good for the actual team, but these characters can all be used for grinding as well, something Jane can't do. And there we go. That is my Nyanbo character tier list. Got to talk about some fun characters like Orihime, Tsukuyomi, and this guy's Soultimate. Hopefully I remember to actually put these more unique characters on the screen because you already know what these characters can do. Probably. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and yeah, bye.